Hi guys, I'm Shmi, hello and welcome back to the channel where I am very excited because today it is finally time to collect my Mystic Blue SLS AMG Black Series, now completely transformed from its original paint colour of the Himalaya Grey. I'm going to be heading up in the Supra up towards Chartwell where the work is now finished. The car is ready to be brought back home, although I say this, there are a few very small touches that I'm still going to be changing with it, which I'll tell you more about later on. But of course the entire body colour has changed. It has been repainted into my choice of Mystic Blue to be a permanent member of the Shmeemobiles in the collection forever going forwards. It's also got a few new carbon fibre pieces which have been fitted as well. But today we're going to be heading up to see the car for the first time in Mystic Blue. I'm going to be meeting Tony from Turbo Transport, who's also just got his new pickup after the adventure I had to go and collect him with the trailer when I actually picked up the SLS Black in Germany. He's going to be bringing it back home later on to be reunited with the other Shmeemobiles, to have the blue SLS Black Series alongside the GTR Pro and some of the other cars. I cannot wait to see this. I really wanted to get it done. It is now finished. So today let's hop in the Supra, go up to Chartwell and collect my Mystic Blue SLS AMG Black Series. These are the two of the Shmeemobiles which, like I've said, are basically serving my daily driving duties at the moment, although two very different cars. Now they have both been up to Chartwell before, and you might remember we were having a bit of fun with the guys up there, taking a different Shmeemobile every time. They've worked on the Senna and the SLS Black Series, and I've also been up with the G63, with the GT8, the GTR Pro, the Heritage RS, the Supra, and also with the GTC Warlusso. The cars that haven't been are the 675 LT Spider and the Red RS, both of which are away at the moment, and also the Ford GT, but it would kind of be against my own guidelines if I took the Ford GT, because I only want to use the cars that are that special for special occasions, not just sitting on the motorway. So today it is going to be the Supra again. So let's come round and hop on in to get this journey underway, to head on up. Of course we've got keyless, open this up, and I think recently, probably to uploading this video, I've just installed the new dashboard insert over on the passenger side. He says let's turn on a light with the carbon A90 edition 1 out of 90 cars badge just over there. Let's get this started up. Into life it goes, and today get a few more miles then on the Supra, heading up towards Chartwell to go see the Mystic Blue SLS, and I cannot wait. Prior to this point, I've been up to Chartwell a couple of times to take up the car and see the original paint sample, to see it completely stripped down, which was quite an odd experience, and then of course to actually see some of the panels being painted originally. I've seen the colour myself, I absolutely loved it in person, and I can't wait now to see the entire car all in Mystic Blue when it's all been reassembled and put back together. Of course, I chose Chartwell, they're a Mercedes approved body shop. They worked on the SLS Black Series models before. They also did the repairs perfectly to my McLaren Senna. And I know we had this big discussion about how I devalued the collector's car, and I talked a lot more about that in the previous video, but ultimately I bought this car to drive it, to hopefully in the future take it to track days, take it to the Nordschleife, drive it at VMAX, maybe take it on some rallies, fly it around the world. It's a car that I'm going to use, I'm going to drive it. It's not going to retain its collector value as a 0 mileage garage queen. That's not what this car is about, and hence why, to be honest, given I couldn't purchase an SLS Black Series back in 2013, 2014, I wasn't in a position myself to be able to do so. That is basically why I have now kind of spec'd the car how I would have spec'd it from new. Think of it like that. Think of it like ordering a new car, except I've bought a donor car, if we could say, that met my criteria. It's had all of its annual services, it's done some driving but not too much driving. It does need to have done an interesting thing I did mention before, but to import a car into the UK, at least at the time being, this will change in future thanks to Brexit and that side of things, but at the moment a car needs to be over 6 months old and it needs to have over 6,000 kilometers on it to be classed as a used car, and therefore to import it without paying the VAT element of the car's cost again. If it's got less than 6,000 kilometers, like let's say I bought a 3,000 kilometer car, I would have to pay the 20% VAT when I register it in the UK, which is a funny quirk about basically only importing used vehicles as opposed to new vehicles, obviously not taking into account the world of collectors' cars where they do sometimes have below 6,000 kilometers. Anyway, sorry, I'm waffling on a lot, but I've been up to Chartwell a few times. In fact, with the visits to see the Senna, I've probably been up almost 8, 9, 10 times over the last 12 months or so. Today though is, well, probably the most excited I have been out of all of them, because, well, like I said, I planned to paint this car in Mystic Blue before I had even found the car that I then bought that is my Shmeemobile. So today, we're gonna get there, the car is waiting, I gather it's in the showroom, and it will be time to see it. There are a few things though, like I said, which we'll see on the car which aren't entirely 100% complete by intent due to what's coming next. You will see what I mean when we get there, but yes, the clock is ticking down. It is not going to be long now. For you guys, it's going to be just a moment until we get to Chartwell and get to see the Mystic Blue SLS Black Series. I have arrived. Tony has also just arrived with his new Ram 1500, his new pickup with the trailer behind, the same trailer that collected the car that is under the cover inside. We will go in to reveal it in just a moment. Work out, I think, first maybe where to park the trailer so that we can load it up. But I'm excited to see this now. It's been quite a long process, of course, a very thorough job to make sure it is done perfectly to original specification and quality. But let's head inside then here at Chartwell to reveal the car. As a very quick reminder, when I went out to collect the SLS Black Series was the same trip when Tony's previous truck had unfortunately broken down in Germany. Well, this is the new replacement, the Ram 1500 Laramie, 5.7 litre V8. Sounds, well, I guess it sounds a bit throaty, does it? Sounds a bit better than the one that came before. So left-hand drive car, good for driving around the continent as well. Anyway, we'll get mine loaded up into the trailer to take it back home in a moment. Let's go do this. Let's head inside. It is time then. Let's have the reveal of the Mystic Blue SLS Black Series. Look at this. Look at this colour. Is it not spectacular? It is truly stunning. Of course, under the lights here, you can see that pearlescent, almost purple hue that you have in the paintwork. I've mentioned before, the wheels are going to be going silver. That is a change still to be made. But look at this. You've got all the gloss carbon fibre, the work that was done as well to restore the front corner that had a small scratch on it before. This is truly stunning. I love that it's still got the previous Umwelt Zone sticker. There, look at that, the silver fuel cap. This is the kind of idea I'm going for, having the silver touches through to the wheels as well. Of course, we've got the gold calipers from the carbon ceramics. Around the back, you'll notice it doesn't have the badges at the moment. The badges will go on after it's had PPF. They are the silver badges, the chrome silver badges to match as well with the exhaust tailpipes, but we didn't pop them on because we just have to take them off to do the PPF at Topaz later on. But this is stunning. Of course, I also added the carbon fibre door mirror caps. Just wow, wow, I'm looking at this. I should take a moment more to take it in. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely perfect. Exactly how I wanted this car to look. Now I've got the key on me in my pocket just here. Let's open this up so that I can show you the other add-on. Oh, look at those. The carbon fibre side sills that you have here. Originally it had those in body colour, but those look so nice. In fact, this car, this is unreal. I'm out of breath just looking at it. Wow. I've just been standing here for a couple of minutes taking this car in. It has turned out perfectly, exactly what I had in mind, but I do want to show you a few more things, including inside the engine bay. A lot of discussion about that, but look at the colour of it as we come around, the lights, the reflections over some of the curves and some of the shapes. In fact, to come in closer on the paintwork, look at this. It is a stunning shade. I could not be happier with this. So to open up the engine bay, down here in the driver's footwell, we have the lever. Come on round, and I will show you what this looks like inside. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Now there was a lot of talk about maybe we should have taken the engine out. Of course, mechanically that would have been a much bigger operation, but one of the beauties of this car is that the 6.2 V8 is mounted so far back, it is well behind the front axle, and meant just removing things like the airboxes made it possible to actually paint all of the key components. In fact, you can see how it's painted all the way through underneath. And let's be real, I'm not trying to hide that this car has been resprayed. The colour has been changed from the original look, but if you're standing here, you can't really see it. In fact, you can't see it at all. And then obviously we have all of the exposed carbon on the underside of the bonnet. Absolutely stunning as well. So let me close that back down, drop it into place, come around to show you inside the boot very quickly. So grab the key back, pop that open, hold down the button, because inside here we have a few bits and pieces. The original silver side sills before we've replaced them with the carbon parts. Those have been kept in the original colour. We've got all the badges, we've also got the original mirror caps and some of the other bits and pieces, like for example the front number plate plinth, because it will be attached differently now. I love this thing. I absolutely love this car. It is so stupidly wide, but we will need in a moment to fire it up, take it on outside and see what it's like in the sunshine. Cold start of this beast sounds so good, but that is also something in the future that might be changing slightly as well. For the time being though, let's bring this outside into the daylight. And here it comes for the first time into the sunshine. And look at this. That is phenomenal. It's actually darker and I would say even more purple outside in the sunlight. This is stunning. I cannot say that enough. Wow. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. We've done it. Massive thanks to Chartwell. Listen to this, it's burbling away here. My word, guys. This is exactly what I was dreaming out of this car. It is time now to get this car loaded up into the trailer, which of course means we get some more V8 grumble. The sound of this. That sounds so monumentally epic. This car, and I tell you what's really interesting actually, is how different the colour looks whether you're wearing sunglasses or not. It looks a lot darker through sunglasses than it does, but almost that kind of purple colour to it. This thing is so cool. I can't believe that this is actually, well, done. This is it. This is the SLS Black Series. Wow. So it doesn't have the plates on. The plates will go on when everything is finished. When it has silver wheels, when it has the silver badges, when everything is complete. For the moment though, it will be loaded up for Tony to take it back on home. Just look at this. Honestly, it is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Obviously safe in Tony's hands to get that inside the trailer. The SLS Black behind the Ram. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Tony is now strapping down the car for the safe journey back home. I've been in to settle the bill and all of that side of things, but a big thanks to Chartwell. They've been amazing through this process. Now to get the car home and of course for me to drive the Supra back, where we will unload the SLS with the other Shmeemobiles. Of course, we're currently living in crazy times, but we've started to see businesses around the world being opened back up, the likes of car factories that are being opened and put back into production, but also here in the UK, the government's guidelines for business are actually to keep running. They're not trying to close down businesses, they're trying to keep the economy moving, where of course they can within their social distancing guidelines. So the likes of businesses like Chartwell's, like Topaz Detailing, like Turbo Transport, but also for me like Shmee150 and some of the other businesses that I'm involved in can run, just of course with a skeleton staff, on a more minimal kind of operation as opposed to the normal full running, so that they can stick and follow these social distancing guidelines, which of course for today have been absolutely critical with everything that we've been doing. So this is quite an important thing. Obviously this isn't to go and hang out with friends, to go over to visit other people's houses, to go and visit parents, that kind of thing, but business can keep operating within the guidelines, of course following social distancing. That's what's important. For now though, I'm back on the roads. I guess it's going to be a fairly gentle drive back down towards the storage. I'll probably get there a little bit before Tony, but I can get it all unlocked and get things lined up, especially with the trickle charger and that side of things, to be ready to plug the SLS in when I do get it home. And I cannot wait now to have that car lined up with some of the others in the garage in not too long from now. Well, the weather has taken a turn for the worse, which to be honest, it did say was going to happen this afternoon. The forecast said it would start to rain, and it is now doing so. But some of you might be wondering, why am I transporting the SLS back home as opposed to driving it? Now, the squad will know the answer to this, but of course it has a new paint job, a complete respray, therefore soft paint. Of course, it's had a few weeks, but it needs wait a little bit longer to harden up, and ultimately it's going to have paint protection film to make sure that it doesn't get any chips or any scratches. But if it got one before that is done by Topaz, I would be immensely upset about it. Of course, it's had quite an expensive job done to make sure it's done correctly, so I want to make sure that it gets PPF before I actually do drive it on the road. It's a very important thing to me, especially to keep it looking very good into the future as well. If it got that one small stone chip on the front bumper, I would completely regret driving it, and in conditions like this on the motorway it would be a bit boring anyway. So it makes sense to get it transported, to bring it safely back home, to get it to the garage, and I guess it's going to start raining a little bit harder as well. That's definitely what the forecast was pointing towards. So yes, hopefully that makes some sense, and it will be driven a lot in the future. Obviously that car is going to do a lot of miles. It's not a garage queen. I'm not being mileage conservative with it at all. If I want to drive it somewhere, I'm going to drive it, take it across Europe, hopefully take it across America, do many more things with it, just not necessarily the initial things that were planned with everything that is going on. But yeah, this has just got really quite miserable quite quickly. So let's, I guess, rush on home, and I will catch you in the garage with the car. All parked up then, and I tell you what else, I have just realised, as we now have the SLS with some of the other Shmeemobiles, we've kind of got a new blue crew going on. A new permanent blue crew in the garage. The Senna in MSO Cerulean Blue, the GT8 in Cobalt Blue, and now the SLS Black Series in Mystic Blue. This thing looks so good, words don't really describe it. I tell you what's funny though, look at quite how filthy the Supra got on that drive. That would have not been much fun in the pristine and beautifully cared for SLS Black Series. In fact, Chartwell had done such a good job of the finishing, the polishing, making sure it looks incredible. I don't think there's a whole lot more detailing that is going to be needed on this. The paintwork is spectacular to begin with right now. So I've actually just plugged it in to a trickle charger for the first time. I hadn't ever plugged this car in, and there's quite a nifty little thing back here. So the trickle charger, special lithium trickle charger for the lithium battery. But to open up the boot again, just inside here at the far end, there is actually a connector just literally there. So you can plug this in, a hot connector, done just like that. And by the way, the plates are in here, but I'm not going to be popping those on until all is finished. For the time being though, that is set. This car is looking so nice. This colour, I mean, it's very different when it's indoors to when it's outside, but I can't wait. I like to get this out properly on the roads when it's all PPF'd, and of course on some of the adventures when it's possible to travel with the car again later this year. But yeah, the Shmeemobiles together again, having this, and of course down the other end of the line, if we come past this lot, plus the Ford GT, we get to the other AMG, I suppose the brother or sister in the garage, the GTR Pro. To drive the Pro and the SLS Black back to back is going to be quite an experience as well, and I can't wait for that in the hopefully not too distant future. For now though, this is spot on. This is amazing. I mean, yeah, I hope that some of you are looking at this now and thinking, well actually that quite works, that does work. Certainly I am very pleased with the choice that I made. So again, a huge thanks to Chartwell for also allowing me the access to share some of the process with you, the car being stripped down, being painted. But yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. For now though, thank you very much for watching as always guys. I appreciate your support, but that's it for this time, and I will see you again very soon. Cheers.